Hello, Pain Free for Life members, and welcome back to another Monday 10-minute training. Today, I've been asked to talk all about treating brain injuries with the Avazzia Life Evolution. Now, the evolution is a flexible device, and therefore it is capable of working on the body directly to resolve pain and trigger regeneration, all of that good stuff. But it also has the capability of working on the brain because it contains some brainwave frequencies that just allow us to interface the device with the brain directly. Now, TBIs or traumatic brain injuries, they have a wide variety of symptoms, okay? And they differ from mild to moderate to severe. So, someone suffering or struggling with a TBI or brain injury in general may have a variety of these different symptoms. Physically, a mild brain injury can include things basically like a headache, nausea or vomiting, fatigue, drowsiness, problems with speech, dizziness, loss of balance, etc. Sensory problems as well, such as blurred vision, ringing in the ears, a bad taste in the mouth, or changes in the ability to smell can also impact things too. And people can even experience sensitivity to light or sound. The things like difficulty sleeping, mental health problems can occur as well as a result of these things. When you're dealing with moderate to severe traumatic brain injuries, this can include anything from the signs and symptoms of mild injury, such as the stuff we just talked about, the headaches, things like that. And then they can also extend, and these symptoms can be hours to days to even months after an injury has happened. People can experience sudden loss of consciousness way after the brain injury that can last from minutes to hours. They can have persistent worsening headaches, repetitive vomiting or nausea, convulsions, seizures, dilation of the eyes, weakness or numbness in the fingers and toes, loss of coordination, slurred speech. So the symptoms of brain injuries are so various that we have to be very, very careful with how we approach the treatment. But we do know that when we're looking at people with, say, seizures, we may want to avoid treating them in some ways, right? But we do know that these basic treatments profoundly will help people that are experiencing brain injuries and the symptoms there that are connected to them. So many people suffering from a TBI are going to find that these symptoms can be long term and they can end up causing a significant impact on the person's life. Now, there are a few basic treatments that I find work really, really well for brain injuries, whether it's mild or severe brain injury. And these are just specifically, again, using the life evolution. Okay. Now, the first one would be your vagus nerve stimulation. Vagus nerve stimulation is one of my favorite treatments. You probably hear me talk about it all the time. But essentially, vagus nerve stimulation helps the brain and the body enter this parasympathetic state, which is our healing response state. And in this state, we can actually repair. So it's essential that we shift into it, which can be hard to do with the symptoms of TBIs. So the goal here is that vagus nerve stimulation will help us shift into that state. 3 to 4 times per day at 7 to 12 hertz for 3 minutes a session. This is the basic way of doing it, okay? So you're going to look at the left side of your neck, and you're going to feel for your carotid artery. You've got your device, you've got your Y probe, you turn your evolution on, and it's immediately going to be on 7 to 12 hertz. You place the electrode right around where your carotid artery is. You just feel for that pulse. You feel for the pulse, and you go back a little bit, and you place the electrode right behind it, and you're just going to put mild pressure, and you're going to increase the power until you can feel it. Okay, I can feel it. So you want to do this, as I said, 3 to 4 times per day at 7 to 12 hertz for 3 minutes a session. And you really want to be doing this for at least 2 weeks. If you find that this is not making a difference, you can do one longer 20-minute session, though I prefer the scattered treatments for TBIs because you're trying to bring the body back down to a better place. The next treatment is tongue stimulation. And many people may have been sitting there being like, is Rob going to talk about tongue stimulation, because it is the general treatment for this, right? It is the primary one for anything to do with brains. For this, you need a tongue stimulator. You don't want to put something like the Y probe in your mouth. As you can see, the difference is quite astounding. This is not going to be very comfortable in your mouth. This is absolutely fine in your mouth. You want to spread the prongs so that one of the prongs is on either side of the midline of your tongue, and you want to place it there. When it's plugged in, you set the device to 121 hertz, and this will allow you to stimulate with a modulated frequency, activating the midbrain, and essentially in turn all of the cranial nerves in the body. So simply put the tongue stimulator on the tongue, set it to 121 hertz, and leave it for 10 to 20 minutes. There's not really an exact time. 20 minutes is what we've been doing for a while, but I find people can't do it for that long, and they do still get great results even with the 10-minute timer. The last treatment would be gamma on the brain. Essentially, with gamma, what you're doing is you're helping your brain to detox the plaques within it by hitting it with waveforms that it's only really usually going to experience during a good night's sleep or a successful meditation. So these are not things that many people experience in the day-to-day, whether they have brain injury or not. I recommend using either the third eye pad or the trigeminal pads, which are the pads I have here, and essentially just putting the two pads on the center of the forehead, or the third eye pad on the center of the forehead as well, whatever you would prefer. And setting it to 32 to 45 hertz. So your device should be set to 32 to 45 hertz. As long as it's centered on the forehead, there shouldn't be much discomfort with the temples. And that's probably the absolute best approach there. Placing it in the center for 20 minutes, running gamma at a comfortable power level. Optimally, the use of a via chi can go a long way to making the treatment saturate deep within the brain. You just place the via chi right here. You're not using a pad, and you're pushing that gamma deeper into the brain and saturating the whole thing with that signal. So when you're using the via chi, though, you do want to make sure your power is at maximum. Okay, so that is it for today's video on how to treat brain injuries with the Evolution. If you have any questions about treatment of brain injuries using this device or any of our other equipment, please do not hesitate to ask. Just drop a comment below and I will get back to you straight away. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your week.